Welcome to the Life, Love, Everything podcast. I am your host, Tasmin Bota. I can't believe that we have already made it to the end of season number 1. Giving myself a little pat on the shoulder because I didn't actually think we would get to this point. You know, imposter syndrome is real, self doubt is real, time management, time constraints, all of that, all of that came into play um, through this journey of recording the podcast. But I thought I would make a little outro to end the first season because I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to every single person who has, up until this point, and I'm pretty sure we'll have more people, listened to our episodes. Um, I made sure that this time around, I did not put any pressure on myself in terms of worrying about numbers and stuff like that. And so, yes, I do check the stats at least once or twice a week, but it hasn't been the defining source behind my continuation of the podcast, if that makes sense to you guys. It was just, this was I suppose, yet another project of love. It was a space that has allowed me to focus a little bit more on my creativity as well, but also just to speak about some of the things that I have on my mind sometimes, even though I have a lot more on my mind that I'd like to discuss in the future. But yeah, the feedback that I've received from you guys has been phenomenal and has been so overwhelming and humbling. And I'm so grateful, that little old me was able to do this and get it done and get it completed and put it out there for the world to hear, unfiltered and raw. And not one time has someone complained that the audio isn't great. Remember, I was so worried about that. Or literally, the vibes and the feedback have been nothing but positive energy. So thank you so much, guys. Like, you don't know how much that means to me. The messages that I receive weekly, we have some people who are faithful listeners who, I don't know, have you set up your notifications? If you have, thank you so much. That as soon as an episode drops, they're there listening to it and always providing, a response. And, I know, like, the imposter syndrome would have me believing that nobody wants to hear what it is that I have to say. Nobody's interested. Like, people have lives and they've got their own stuff going on. And why would they want to sit and listen to me rambling on for 20 plus minutes about whatever it is that I've decided to ramble on about on that particular day? But you guys have been so phenomenal. And, every person that I've reached out to be a part of the podcast has jumped at the opportunity to come and share space with me. And I appreciate that as well. You'd be amazed to hear what goes into actually planning an episode. Like, even now I'm sitting here recording this and I'm pretty sure you guys can hear someone has decided to start blasting their music. It's been quiet all this time until I decided to hit record. And that is just the beauty of life, right? Like, no matter how much we try and plan, and trust me, I'm such a planner. I think it has to do with the anxiety. I'm such a planner. I need things to be in a certain way, in a certain format, and continuing, in order for me to thrive and function. I need to have structure in order to function. I'm sure you can even hear my little one opening and closing the door. But, that's just life. That's just the way that it is. I've even been toying with the idea of doing this outro because, like, do people even do that on podcasts? I don't know. But, the something inside of me has been wanting to do it. Like, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been wanting to sit down to say thank you, because really that's all I want. That's what I wanted to do, was to say thank you for believing in this crazy idea of mine. Thank you for participating in whichever way, shape, or form that was, whether you shared the link with somebody in your network, um, whether you replied to me, whether you shared my posts on social media. It's been wonderful. And the beauty of when God places something on your heart is that he's always going to show up and show out, right? With the relationship that I know that I have with God, I've come to realize that he also has quite the sense of humor, believe it or not. And so, yes, at times things haven't gone the way that I wanted them to go, but his plan and his purpose is always clear and he always delivers regardless. I mean, if I tell you the amount of times I have listened to each episode before actually publishing it and editing it and over scrutinizing it, you'd most probably think that I'm crazy. Because like life and society has taught us to be perfectionists, which I really don't think is, it's not a bad trait, but I really also don't think it's it's the standard to live by. And sometimes it's been really, really hard for me to press that schedule button because of imposter syndrome and self-doubt. But then especially on the episodes where I've really, really been like, this really doesn't sound good. Or like, for example, the DMI therapy episode, believe it or not, it was one of the first episodes that I recorded. So I was really, really in the beginning stages of figuring out this podcast thing. And it took all of me, and you can even ask my guests, all of me to actually decide to just go ahead and publish it the way that it was, because it wasn't at the level or standard that, I would like for myself. But I was like, damn it, this community is so awesome. Like, they will understand that this is life and this is how things happen. And, you guys have accepted me just the way that I am, and you have met me just where I am, and I appreciate it so much. So, yes, we are going to have a season number 2. Of course, I am working on it. We're not putting any timelines or deadlines on it because I just feel like that's a recipe for setting myself up for failure. But it is going to come. But in the meantime, you guys, if you haven't, you are more than welcome to catch up on past episodes. And please slide into my DMs. Send me a WhatsApp if you've got my number. Whatever it is, let me know what you'd like to see, what you'd like to hear. Heck, if you would like to be on the podcast, hit me up and let's see how we can sit down and arrange, a little recording session for us. Like I've said in the past, this is informal. This is us doing life as it is in its rawest form. Whether the dogs are barking, the kids are screaming, they're opening and closing the door, the hardy dogs are making noise, which they are doing right now. We don't care. We're not looking for perfection, but we are looking to create a safe space to share our stories as authentically and transparently as we can, and to help each other. Because, right, I found podcasting to be such a therapeutic thing for me. And maybe it's the writer in me, because that's always how I've expressed myself. Well, words has always been my thing, right? So writing was always a big thing for me in my younger days. And I'm finding this speaking my thoughts and sharing my thoughts and talking about things that sometimes I find to be uncomfortable topics. But what I've learned through speaking to other people, even on the podcast, is that it's okay to go against the grain, and it's okay to question, why are things done in a certain way or in a certain manner. Thank you, Joey Lamini, for teaching us how to unlearn. And yeah, when you do something that's out of the norm, it will feel uncomfortable. And that's okay. It's okay if it feels uncomfortable. But we cannot make progress and we cannot change if we don't do the uncomfortable things and if we don't speak about the uncomfortable things. And so I'm hoping and I'm praying that season 2 is going to be bigger and better than ever. But I can guarantee you that life is still going to be lifing in the background, and that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted to, I'm not going to babble on. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Your love, your support, it is felt, it is appreciated, and let's continue to ride this train. Until next time, I am your host, Tasmin Bota, and this is the Life, Love, Everything podcast.